Welcome back. When you hang the stocking by the fireplace with care, do you ever think about ghosts?
Can't say that I do, but maybe now I will. Our next guest says traditionally Christmas time was a time to gather in front of the fire and tell ghostly tales. Joining us now is Anna Lardinois. She's an author and runs ghost tours of Milwaukee. I find this fascinating. Great to see you.
Well, I'm really excited to be here to tell you about the spooktacular side of Christmas.
It's great. I gotta know, do you believe in ghosts?
Well, I do own Gothic Milwaukee, the haunted historical walking tour, so I strut out there a lot with the ghosts.
Yeah, so you're buddies with them, sort of like?
I think so.
Okay.
On my side.
Okay.
Exactly. I don't think of Christmas as being a ghost. It just doesn't relate to me, but you say this really goes back.
Well, truly, and you gave a great segue when you said Christmas Carol, because Christmas Carol has 3 professional ghosts and 1 tortured soul. And it's really one of our most popular Christmas stories. But that was just one of many that we enjoyed during the Victorian era. So on Christmas Eve, it was a tradition to gather around the fireplace. You'd play games with your family and friends, and then enjoy some eggnog and tell spine-tingling tales.
Ooh.
And what better time to do that when the fire is roaring and the wind is howling outside and there you are, warm, and those shadows are creeping in. It's a perfect time of year to get spooky.
Can you come to my house and do it, because you're so animated? That's what I would need. Right, yeah, do you travel?
But the great thing is everybody can do it, because there are so many really well-known Christmas stories that you can find online for free. I've posted some on my website, but the Signal Man is one of the most popular, about a engineer who may have been warning of things yet to come.
Ooh. Now, it's my understanding from our producers that you have a ghost story you can share with us.
Yes, it's a very Wisconsin Christmas story, and I thought you'd enjoy it.
Okay, are you willing to tell it to us?
Break out the fire and gather around.
Eggnog.
Yes,
We'll
we're
pretend.
drinking our eggnog.
If you know my stories, you know how much I love a maritime disaster. So this is kind of a supernova of everything I like. It's a maritime disaster, it's about Christmas, and there's ghosts. So.
All right.
There we go.
Nothing's better.
Okay.
You've probably heard of the Christmas boat. So the Christmas tree boat, it made runs from Michigan down to Chicago to deliver Christmas trees to German immigrants. And they did it for almost 3 decades. The captain was so celebrated, they called him Captain Santa. So he makes a run in November of 1912, and it doesn't begin well. The boat at that time is 44 years old. It starts on a Friday, which is the worst day ever to start from mariner standpoint. There's no more unlucky day to begin than Friday. Friday. And there were 13 crew members. To add to that, there was an exodus of rats from the ship. And you think, oh, you'd like that, but no, rats are very good at judging how well a ship is doing, because they get into all the tightest spots. So they're the
ran
first.
Off before this.
Yes, and so people thought, oh, but the captain said, no, Chicago needs its Christmas trees. So they make it up to Michigan, nothing happens. They get there, even more rats get off the boat. And they're loading.
They're fleeing.
They're fleeing. Even more rats. The rats that were still feeling courageous in Chicago were like, we're out. And they loaded that Christmas tree boat up with 5,500 Christmas trees. The sailors thought, oh, it's a little top heavy, the rats, but the captain said, no, Chicago needs these trees. And some sailors said, we're not going back. So they foregone their pay and took a train back, and so they shove out, and the weather is fine, but you know the gales of November on the lake. That is hurricane force winds, and one comes out of the north, and it turns out to be called the storm of the decade, and the Christmas tree ship is caught in it. Well, they somehow make it down to Kewanee, and they're sending out a signal saying we're in distress. A lifeboat goes to them. It gets within 1,000 feet of the ship, and then a snow squall happens, and there is 0 visibility. They cannot see the ship, and when it clears, the Christmas tree ship has disappeared.
What?
And it was never again found until 1971.
True?
But very true. However, what keeps it ghostly is people still claim to see that ship all the time, particularly on moonlit winter nights. They can see the ship sailing in the distance, its sails tattered, just rolling in the wind like a gale force wind, even on cool nights. And as they watch it for a little bit, it drifts off into the mist.
Whoa, as long as the rats aren't around, I can handle seeing the ghostly ship.
One more little ghostly thing. Maybe Captain Santa made it home after all. Oh. Because his wife dies in 1933. She's buried in Chicago. The lake never gives up her dead, as you know. So his body never recovered. But there's a modest stone with an evergreen tree commemorating the man there. And the smell of pine. Always when you visit her grave.
We've got to visit your website. There's so many great stories.
What is your website?
Gothic Milwaukee.
GothicMilwaukee.com?
Yes.
Fantastic. So nice to meet you. Happy holidays to you.
You look
Keep it spooky.